Serious, what keeps you going when you're at your lowest? When I'm at my lowest, I always think things like it would be better if I stopped everything, or after all this is worthless. But then, what keeps me going is that I don't want everything I've done to end now. In this situation state of mind, I want to see how far I can go, how much I can do. There's no way I'm gonna stop now, so I just try to make it till tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after. There's also the fact that I think about everyone who cared for me, and that I have to go on for them. I'd hate the fact that I would be a disappointment. Finally, I would really recommend long walks, early in the morning, when there's no one outside. When I'm feeling down, just walking alone, in empty streets, listening to a peaceful silence and breathing fresh air make me feel better. Carry on. No one knows what does the future will bring us, so you've got to fight today for a better tomorrow. Sometimes it's wanting a better future, seeing my mum and my future wife and children happy and at peace, nothing to worry about, not worrying where the next meal is coming from, having enough money to take care of all their needs and wants, well, just enough so they don't get spoiled, the kids I mean. I can understand wanting the best for your children, but sometimes that makes them really spoilt and weak. Other times it's spite. Proving to all the toxic people that have come across in my life that I'm so much more than they think. That no matter what they or anyone in this world say, I will never give up trying to succeed. Just seeing the look on their faces when they realize that they were so wrong about me, and I'm standing there with a smile on their face, having accomplished so much, while they have remained in the same gutter than I last saw them in. Sorry if this is generic, but I set goals for the future. Long-term goals that will fix up my shitty, like an exercise training routine or a school study plan. For me, just the thought of resolving my problems helps out a little bit. Also, I reflect on how privileged I am, even though money means nothing. If you're not happy, I do this because I remember, no matter how poor or unfortunate people are, they can still find light in their lives. This motivates me because I know that I've been given a higher chance to succeed just because of my social class, and that I'm truly lucky to be where I'm today. It motivates me to use this opportunity to achieve and do more for myself and others. I'm surrounded by people that need me to keep existing, keep functioning, for their lives not to fall apart. My kids need a mom, and their dad would struggle if he were a single parent. I also have an amazing dad I can call who gives fantastic pep talks, and he knows me better than anyone else, so they actually help. I'm normally pretty good at staying positive, but when I hit bottom now and then, obligations keep me from ending it, and the love of one single person is enough to keep me grinding through what I have to do in order not to fall apart. Sounds like they are lucky to have you. My reasons to keep going are very similar. I used to do this little mental exercise that I called the 100-meter radius. Whenever I was feeling despondent or apathetic, I would close my eyes and imagine a 100-meter radius around me and think about all of the other people within that space. There was something so calming and uplifting imagining all of those random people and acknowledging that they are just like me, living day by day with their own values, experiences, anxieties, and dreams. A little reminder that I'm not alone in this world and that complete strangers can be more relatable than you'd think. Depends sometimes. I actually enjoy being at my lowest, especially with books. When I'm feeling low, I sometimes look for a book, and it actually helps a lot of the times. I'd recommend a book like The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. It's quite nice in pretty much all aspects. Or you could try something deeper. I haven't read them all, but I suppose these might be interesting at such times. The Catcher in the Rye, Lord of the Flies, The Monk in 1984, maybe even Frankenstein. And The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. My dog listening to stand-up death metal, thrash metal, black metal, speed metal, power metal, doom metal, tradition metal. I agree, especially with all the metal. NGL, the only reason I'm still alive today is because of my dog. He is my best friend and the thought of leaving him alone in the world was always worse than any of the pain. Have you heard of Cradle of Filth? They got me through some pretty tough times. May I suggest Coffin Fodder? It sounds terrible, but it's actually beautiful. I've been extremely suicidal before, to the point where I went into a residential home. Time and time again I would keep on living for my pets. My cats and dog needed me. What would happen to them if I was gone? Who would pet them, feed them, love them, take care of them? One of my cats who has now passed even saved my life. I had the intention of ending it, walking to the kitchen to get a knife, when she popped out of nowhere and meowed at me. I instantly broke down and thanked her. In my 7th grade Ella class, one of my friends came into class looking like they were about to explode. Then they just started sobbing. I go up to her and ask what's wrong. She tells me that her neighbor killed himself the previous night. I had been thinking about doing the same for a while, but seeing her like that just made me take a step back and think, this is what happens to people when you do something so selfish. I haven't thought about doing that ever since. Sheer stubbornness. No, really. My immediate family needs me in the most literal way. Between my daughter's therapies, my wife's anxiety, and her next nearest support structure being 4 states away, everything would completely fall apart if I gave up. It's not healthy. It will bite me one day. I have no idea how bad it will be when it happens. In the meantime, I keep going, because I have to, because they need me to. My family. They are the ones who keep me up at hard times. Also, just crying as much as I want sometimes. It's relieving. My hobbies provide me with an opportunity to calm down, no matter how down I am. I also tend to treat myself to something I wanted for a while or some sweets whenever I go through hard times. It really is the small stuff that can give you the power needed to get through. I usually use whatever is at hand. Sometimes is a memory of something good, like a good weekend with the family. Sometimes the prospect of finishing project, big task, planned work for the week, having another good weekend the family, or just something overall eventful that might bring me some joy, like going for a dive in the beach. Yeah, but most times is food and or music. Heck, sometimes even cleaning the house is a big help. I often get sad and depressed because I've never had a girlfriend. Even though this gets deep to when I go insane, I have a lot of friends who may not love me that way, but they still support me nonetheless. I sometimes look at my yearbook for the 2018 to 2019 school year, as I got 80, yes I counted, lol, signatures from friends with very supportive messages. Like many, I deal with an anxiety disorder, along with depression. For me personally, when I'm at my lowest, the thoughts of my family and how I care provide for them keep me going, along with the knowledge that I've made it through tough times before. If I can make it out of a low period in my once, I can work through and do it again. When you hit rock bottom, the only way is up. Talking to someone, not about the actual problem, but just having someone there, and talking to me dogs and other animals also help, as well as music and food. I also have a comfort object that I hold and just stare at that helps me to calm down and feel happy again without having to physically hurt myself. So, if you can find something like that, that would probably help too. IDK, if I want to answer to that publicly, we'll never mind. My friend girl. She's always there for me, and I love her, even though I can't really date her or something like that. For the guy that posted this, DM me on Insta if you want to know more. My @ is at IDKWHATTOWRITEHERE, Eiley_. This guy, he's always there for me and has never once tried to scratch or bite me in malice. I'm convinced he'd sacrifice his own life for mine, and I'd reciprocate that for him as well. 100% purest, most loving creature I have ever had the pleasure of meeting. I'm blessed and won a lottery by having him in my life. Why would you? Suicide is like no existing anymore. You can't do anything else if you die. Also, even in the worst moments I never think of suicide, at least no really serious. In fact, if I survive until I get old, if I can, I will freeze myself or upload my memory into a computer if I can. What keeps me going is seeing my friends and family happy. I honestly think I can go on if they are happy. This and you guys, Reddit in general, there are so many people with similar or funny situations. It makes me laugh and just makes my day. Besides, it's also interesting to learn new things and stories. Hope. Just the tiniest bit of hope, whether it be for a brighter future and life-changing reward, or just that the pain will stop, will be enough to keep anyone going. And for me it has been. If it weren't for the slim bit of hope I held onto during the worst point in my life, I doubt I would be here to type this post. For me, it has to be knowing that I can be better. It's knowing that I can be so much more successful than all of the people who put me at my lowest. I like to imagine what the future would look like when I'm standing at the top, above everyone else who put me down, and it's that future that I strive towards. For me, it's telling myself that I need to do something that I haven't done in life, telling myself that staying in the past won't benefit anyone, or telling myself that I need to pull through, that a single misstep won't destroy my future, but that tripping over little things will. My girlfriend. We started dating about 3 to 4 months after my diagnosis with severe depression and anxiety disorders in November of 2014. We have now been together for almost 4.5 years, and I know that I wouldn't be in as good of a place as I'm without her. Routine. Wake up. Eat. Work out. Eat. Internet. Eat. Work. Bed. It's more palatable when you break it into bite-sized pieces. Just gotta get through the next couple hours until I get to eat or go to bed. I made different playlists on YouTube. One is just called Kitchen, and it's filled with soft cutesy instrumentals from songs, and I go to the kitchen to make myself something easy, or do the dishes. IDK, the music gives me motivation to feel like I'm living in a TV show movie. I realize that it's just a bad day. I accept that it is a bad day, and will be a bad day. Maybe even a couple, but if I get a good night's rest or something to get me back on track, then things will start to go back to normal again. There's good times and bad, both pass. Soundtracks. I have more than 20 playlists with just soundtracks. I love to listen to them whenever I feel down, or when I have no motivation to actually keep on doing things. They just make me feel so much better and do more to me than everything else can.